Vamos falar de blues.
Olá, eu sou o Buda e vamos falar de blues com Mr. Sipp. Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Welcome.
Awesome.
Very great. So, I have a few questions for you. They are all the same to all the guests.
Okay.
I hope your answers will be different. Who is Mr. Sipp?
Mr. Sipp. Mr. Sipp is the guy from Mississippi. Castro Coleman is my real name. It's my birth name. I'm from Magnolia, Mississippi, which is in the center of New Orleans, Louisiana, and Jackson, Mississippi. Come from a gospel background. Now traveling the world as a blues singer. I have a wife, 4 kids, 4 girls, and a dog.
A huge family.
Yes.
And Castro is your name. Are you descendant from any Portuguese or Spanish?
No.
Because Castro is a Portuguese name and also a Spanish.
No, I don't know why my dad named me Castro, but it's a pretty cool name, and I like it.
Yeah, it's a great name. Okay, and it's funny that you come from a gospel background.
Yes.
Because a lot of people I interviewed, Zach Harmon. Do you know?
Zach Harmon, yes.
And he also comes from a gospel background.
Yes.
That's very common in the U.S.
It's very common because gospel and blues is so close together, like first cousins of the music, you know. So coming from a 26-year gospel career now into a 7-year blues career, you know.
Okay.
It still feels the same because the stories and the feeling that we provoke and inject, it's the same feeling.
It's always a celebration.
Yes.
I have that feeling that blues is always like a gospel movement.
It's a powerful movement.
Yeah. Okay, and what's your blues top 5 song-wise?
My top 5 blues songs. Oh my God, it would have to be "Thrill Is Gone" by B.B. King. It's number 1. "Mrs. Jones" by Mr. Sipp. "Pride and Joy" by Stevie Ray Vaughan. I would have to say number 4 would be "Ain't Nobody Business" by Mr. Sipp. And number 5 will be "Jackpot" by Mr. Sipp.
What is the blues to you?
The blues is lifetime stories. A lot of people think that blues are sad, things of that nature. But for me, the blues is a joyful storytelling situation. It opens up. It's like a storybook of someone's life, a storybook of somebody's day. So for me, the blues is I don't know. It's just everyday stories, you know, real life stories, nothing made up, you know, personal experiences. For me, I would call my blues the living water. It's because we bring life through our blues. We bring joy, we bring peace, we bring happiness, you know, through the stories.
And there's the bond with the gospel.
Yes.
It's also the same.
The same.
When you go to church and
yes.
There's that celebration of life.
Exactly. So we call it the living water blues.
Okay, great. And who's your bluesman, your favorite bluesman?
My favorite bluesman will be number 1, the late king of the blues, B.B. King. After that, I'm a great fan of Buddy Guy, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf. Also, my grandfather, Louis Coleman. That's who inspired me. You know.
But if you have to choose only one, just like the greatest blues player.
The greatest blues player for me would be B.B. King.
Okay.
The late great B.B. King, and it's because he played less notes, but his notes had so much power, so much, you know, it was like a voice, the singing guitar. So,
yeah, to agree with that.
Oh, yeah. All right.
It's and from the living ones, who's your favorite bluesman?
From the living ones, right now, for the living ones, I mean, there's a lot of new cats out. You got cats like Eric Gales, Kingfish, Chris Stone Ingram. Oh man, there's so many great players out there right now. I would say right now, Eric Gales is just top of my list. You know, and he's a great friend of mine. He's a great friend.
And you also mentioned Buddy Guy is still alive,
but Buddy Guy,
but is from the old times.
Yeah, from the old area. I said the new area. I would say Eric Gales does a great thing for me now.
Okay, can you tell what the importance of the blues in the music scene, at least for the 20th century, or even since it appeared? How do you find the importance of the blues in all music?
For me, the blues was the start. It was the foundation. It's the creation, you know, of all the. Willie Dixon said it best: the blues are the roots, and everything else are the fruits. So there could be no fruits if we didn't have any roots. So therefore, the blues is so important now. Well, back then and even now, because steady growing new fruit, new players, new singers, new writers, new producers, and the music is still relevant. I mean, people are loving it. You know, we travel throughout the world and we see the joy that the blues bring. You know, we see the peace that the blues bring. We see how the blues bring people together from different nationalities, different countries, different states, you know, different genders. And that's the power of the blues. That's why I think it's still important today.
Great. Blues is still alive, in your opinion, very well alive.
Well alive.
And how do you see? It's kind of the same question, but in a different perspective. How do you see blues in this century, in the 21st?
It's evolving because you have a lot of young players coming into the game. You have a lot of motivated and innovative players coming into the game that's adding more notes, more riffs, more sounds. It's just not what it used to be, and not in a bad way. What it used to be was just clean guitar, drum, bass, you know, vocals. Now, you know, you have pedals, organ, keyboard. It's evolving. And I think that's a good thing, because that's recreating a generation to love it even more. What my grandfather used to listen to, I have a respect for it, but I really don't want to hear it every day and all day. You know, I have to evolve to another.
What age are you? How old are you?
I'm 42 years young.
Yeah.
You know,
so but you're a little less young than me. I am 40.
Yes, you know, and then my kids love the blues, but I'm quite sure they're finding different sounds and different things, you know, that's still relevant to the blues, but to grab their attention. So, in order for the music to stay alive, it has to continue to grow, expand, if you want to keep, you know, grasping the younger generation. Okay.
So, do you consider Hendrix to be a bluesman?
I consider Hendrix to be a bluesman. He had a lot of rock and roll influence, but like I said, blues are the roots. So it started from the blues. So anything that spins off from the blues still have blues ties. Hendrix is one that I didn't mention, but yes, one of my favorite guitar players as well back in the past.
It's inevitable.
Exactly.
To be a guitar player.
Exactly. Blues, yes, I would consider Hendrix influenced by the blues. I wouldn't,
because he said he played the blues.
Mm-hmm.
He always said, "This is my blues. This is
exactly
the blues how I see it, and now how it is."
Right, and that's the thing is blues could be whatever you make it. If it's your blues, if it's your interpretation of the blues, I don't think all blues will sound the same, should sound the same. It's most certainly some stuff shouldn't be called blues, but if that's that person's interpretation of their blues, then who are we to say
Yeah.
that is not the blues, you know?
Okay, and now a double question for someone who wants to dive deeper into the blues world. And here the question doubles. So first, as a listener, and another answer for a musician. So for someone that wants to get deeper into the blues, what is your advice to a listener, and then what is your advice to a player, to a musician?
Okay, well, they're going to be similar, pretty much the same. Right now, we have so much access to like internet, YouTube. There are so many names that you can Google. The first thing you can do is you can go on YouTube and just Google blues music and the history of blues, you know, and it will give you names and artists, you know, that you can look up and watch their documentaries, hear their stories, you know, hear them playing, and that's as a listener to study the background of blues, and you know, and find what style of blues that you like. You know, you have a lot of different options. As a musician, pretty much the same thing. Google who you want to sound like, who you want to be like, what you want to study, and it's all available now on YouTube, man. Check out some Mr. Sipp.
That's for sure.
Check out some Mr. Sipp, some Eric Gales, some, you know.
Who are your influences as a guitar player?
B.B. King. B.B. King is my main influence. I have a lot of Hendrix influence. I have some Stevie Ray Vaughan influence. I have some Albert Collin influence. This is the big thing. My family, my entire family are musicians and singers and stuff. Okay. And I tell the story, and a lot of people don't believe it. I'm the least talented person in my family. I'm just the only one. I chose to do it as a living and travel around the world. But I have great players and great guitar players and bass players and organ players in my family that I admire. You know, so being so close to my family, a lot of those guys, man. My brother Philip Coleman, my late grandfather Lewis Coleman, my dad John L. Coleman, you know, my cousin Edward King Jr., his dad Edward King Sr. You know, these guys, you know, were phenomenal musicians. It's just, I was crazy.
They didn't play it for a living.
They didn't play it for a living.
They was playing for pleasure and.
For pleasure, small town, small gigs. You know, they chose to live a regular.
Yeah.
You know,
like a hobby.
Yeah, yeah.
Playing for love, not for love and money.
Right. Well, for me, it's a love for it, but this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah. But
you know?
but you need to. That's the only place you get your money off.
Right.
So you need to be paid. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do it.
And then the back end story behind that is I hadn't always got paid. You know, great things came to me because my heart was pure, you know, and for the love that I had for the music and the pureness that I had for the music, you know, flows through other people. And, you know, it wasn't that I was charging, but a lot of times they gave me gifts and gave me money, you know, not that I asked for it, but we're grateful now that we're in a season to where, you know, we travel around the world, and we get paid to do what we love to do.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen overnight.
Of course.
You know, and for the most part, that wasn't my focus and my goal. You have to love this to do this. So therefore, with me loving it and loving it purely, you know, on the other end, the blessings has come to where, you know, it could take care of me and my guys and my family.
Yeah, of course. And I don't know anyone that does it for the money, because they have to wait a long time to get some money out of this.
A long time. And if that's the main reason they're doing it,
they will quit.
Yep, they will quit, you know. So I've been in it 30 plus years now. So that's a proven that it's not about the money, but it's for the love of it.
And when did you start playing?
I started playing at the age of 6.
Whoa.
Yeah.
6.
At the age of 6.
Guitar? Immediately?
Guitar. I could hear it. I could hear it. You know, and even now, there's nothing I can't hear that I can't duplicate the first time that I hear it. That's a gift that I have.
That's incredible.
You know, so I could always hear it, and now, you know, even now when I play, my guys never know what I'm gonna play because I don't play what I know. I play what I feel.
Okay,
and that's the difference
in the moment.
In the moment. So even when recording a record, if I do a solo and they want me to redo it, I can't do the same thing because
it was improvised, jammed.
Right.
I think that's one of the beautiful things about the blues. Is the jam thing about it.
You just
the moment, the things that happen that you are not expecting.
Unpredictable.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know you're super tired.
Oh, man.
Thank you for the interview, and I hope to see you tonight.
Awesome, you will. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Vamos falar de blues.